I decided to film a random day, like a vlog, and it turned out to be one of the best days I've had in a while. I started my morning with breakfast on the deck and was very grateful that no bees came to attack my food. I got dressed for the day in one of my favorite shirts with this carpet all over it and my go-to Doc Martens.
Sometimes you guys, take advantage of somebody is trying to be good with you. Okay. So when you come into the class, you join the call, you pay attention to what is happening. And I will tell you one more thing later on why I'm saying this, that you are taking advantage of somebody trying to be good with you. Anyways, so yesterday or the day before that we discussed delay studies for signals. Okay, and we saw the equations for calculating the delay. Today we will see the equations for calculating delay for roundabouts. Okay, and these equations are not given are given in chapter 25. Okay, so I will just brief you about the equations, which are, because we will not discuss chapter 25 in this course. So I will just brief you about the equations. I will solve an example, and then I will break you into groups, and I will give you 2 more examples. Okay, so today will be a partial tutorial session, and if you need more information about how to calculate the delay or how to do studies about roundabouts, then you need to go back to chapter 25, read yourself. Okay, for the purpose of this class I will just explain the equations. Okay, so this is the equation for a roundabout. Okay, D means a delay, average delay. In this equation there are 3 variables, C, T and X. C is the capacity of the lane for which you are calculating the delay. So you have this roundabout. Okay, so either you are calculating, so first of all you need to decide which side of the roundabout you want the delay for. Okay, so like we did for the signals as well, you need to collect data for a specific side of the signal, the number of beacons in the queue and everything, so that you can use the equations to calculate it. So the delay will be for a specific site. Similarly, you have to find out which site, or you have to decide which side of the roundabout you will take the delay, and for that side you will find the number of lanes. Okay, so the number of lanes on that side can be 1 or 2. So for example, I'm doing the delay study for this side of the roundabout. Okay, the one at the bottom. So this side may have 1 or 2 lanes. Okay, so the delay in each lane will be different. So C is the capacity of the lane for which you are trying to find out the delay. C is the capacity of the lane for which you are trying to find out the delay. So if there are 2 lanes, each lane may have a different capacity, so each lane will have a different value of delay. T is the time period for flow. Okay, and we have done enough examples about flow and volume to know that flow is generally taken for 15 minutes. So T is in hours, so 15 minutes means 0.25 hours. 0.25 hours. So in most of the cases, we will put T as 0.25, but T is the time period which you have taken for flow. So if you are taking time period different than 15 minutes, then you will calculate how much is it in terms of hour. But if it is 15 minutes, that means 0.25 hours. So T will be 0.25. And X is a ratio. X is the ratio of volume to capacity. Okay, so again, volume to capacity of the lane for which you are finding out the delay. So we have discussed earlier about volume and capacity. So volume is the actual number of cars passing through that lane, and capacity is the maximum. So volume to capacity ratio can be 1 or less than 1, right? The volume which is passing can be equal to capacity, so the X will be 1. Or it can be less than capacity, then X will be less than 1. Okay. So these are C, T and X, and one more thing which I want to explain here is this multiplication. See, 5 multiplied by minimum of X and 1. This MIN means minimum. So whatever you have within bracket, take the minimum of the values. We will use another equation like this later on, again for a signal as well. So X or 1. Okay, so X can be 1, so a 5 will be multiplied by either 1 or less than 1. Okay, so if X, now what we have learned up till now, X can be 1 or less than 1. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. X will be 1, so you will multiply 5 with 1, or if X is less than 1, then you will multiply 5 with that value of x. Okay, so there is no problem. There should not be any problem for you in light of what we have discussed up till now. Okay, because volume we have discussed, it can be up to the capacity. Okay, there are some advanced topics which we haven't discussed yet now, where x can be more than 1 as well. But if in that case, then you will take 1. Okay, so 5 can be multiplied with 1, or it will be multiplied by the real value of x. Okay, whatever is minimum. Okay, so in our case, x can be 1 or less than 1, so no problem. Now in this equation, I need the capacity. How to find out the capacity? For capacity, I have these equations. See the first table on the top. These are the equations which are taken for capacity. Okay, so you can have four possible arrangements or configurations of a roundabout in terms of number of entry lanes and in terms of number of lanes of the roundabout. So entry lanes are these, the lanes of the road, and the lanes of the roundabout are these circulating lanes. Okay, so you can have 1 entry, 1 circulating, 1 lane roundabout. You can have 2 entry, 2 lane roundabout. Then you can have 1 entry, 2 lane roundabout, and you can have 2 entry and 1 lane roundabout. Okay, so these are the 4 possible combinations, and for each combination you have a different set of equations. And remember, these equations are for calculating the capacity of the lanes of the road, because delay is calculated for the lane of the road. So if it is 1 lane entry, so the road has 1 lane, so you have 1 equation for capacity for 1 lane roundabout and then for 2 lane roundabout. If there are 2 lanes, then each lane may have a different capacity. So you have CR, which is the capacity of the right hand side lane, and CL, which is the capacity of the left hand side lane. Now in Bahrain, we have 3 lane roundabouts as well, but it is not a good practice. It is not a common practice. So we don't have any equations for 3 lane roundabouts. You may have to go and find out your own delay using some field measurements. Okay. Once you find out the delay, once you find out the capacity, then the capacity must be multiplied with an adjustment factor for pedestrians. If pedestrian crossing is allowed from that side of the roundabout, then you need to multiply the capacity with the pedestrian adjustment factor. Okay, so these are the equations for pedestrian adjustment factors. So it depends upon 3 things: the number of entry lanes, so you can have single lane or 2 lane entry, and the volume. Now you see in these equations, as well as for the pedestrian adjustment factor, we are using VC. VC. What is VC? VC is the circulating or conflicting flow, the flow which is passing in front of the lane from the roundabout. Now this flow may be coming from this side or from the other side, or maybe some people are taking a U-turn or whatever, but whoever is passing in front of your lane becomes the part of VC, the circulating or conflicting flow. Okay, so in each case, whether you are calculating capacity or pedestrian adjustment factor, you need to know VC, how much flow is passing in front of your lane, and it will be the summation of flow which is coming from all the other sides. Okay, the opposite side, the right hand side, the left hand side, and they are combinedly passing in front of your lane, so that will become VC. Okay, so depending upon the value of VC, VC is more than 831 passenger cars per hour, then pedestrian factor will be 1. Okay, so pedestrian adjustment factor can be 1 or less than 1. 1 if VC is more than 881 for single lane. Okay, and then we have these equations as well for 2 lanes. Okay, and if the flow is less than 881 for single lane or equal to 881 for single lane, then you will see how many pedestrians are crossing in 1 hour. Okay, from your side. So if the delay is calculated for this side, number of pedestrians should also be determined for this side. So how many pedestrians are passing from this side in 1 hour? Pedestrians per hour. Okay. One more thing which you can note down here is the volume of the units of volume. It is passenger cars per hour. Passenger cars per hour. Okay, so the unit of volume is passenger cars per hour. Okay, so we are counting just passenger cars, we can say like that. Okay, we can convert any vehicle into passenger car. I will discuss about it later on, but for the time being, just keep in mind for these equations, the units of volume are passenger cars per hour. So find out the capacity, apply the pedestrian adjustment factor depending upon the case, and then multiply the adjustment factor with capacity, and then find out the delay. Okay, I will solve an example here. We have delay. We have to calculate the delay of left and right hand lane for this roundabout. So you can see 2 lane entry, right? 2 lane entry, and the lane, there is 1 lane on the roundabout. Okay, 1 conflicting lane. See, This conflicting lane has a flow of 600 vehicles per hour, and the volume for each of the entry lanes is given, and they are different obviously. Okay, so delay will be different if the volume is different. Okay, this makes sense. So first of all, we need to find out which equation should I use. You see here, 2-lane entry, 1-lane roundabout. I'm talking about this case now. Okay, this case. Now, you see these two equations, they are same. So capacity of right hand side lane and left hand side lane will be equal. Okay, you see, although they have written as two equations, but both the equations do not have any difference. Okay, now VC is what? VC is the circulating flow, conflicting flow, which is flow of the roundabout 600 vehicles per hour. So VC will be 600. Okay, so first of all, you will find out the capacity. Okay, since there are no pedestrians given here, so I will not apply, or I do not have to apply any pedestrian adjustment factor. Pedestrian adjustment factor is not required because it is not given. Okay, so first of all, find out the capacity. Capacity of the left and the right hand side lane will be equal, which is 620 vehicles per hour. Okay, see, VC 600. Then you calculate X for the left hand side and right hand side lane. Although the capacity is different, but the the capacity is same, but the volume is different. So the X will be different. So for the left lane, it will be 600 upon 620. 600 is the volume of the left hand side lane, so X is 0.97, and 400 upon 620 for right hand side lane, because the volume is 400. So you have X values, and then you apply this equation. Okay, C will be 620 for both lanes, T will be 0.25, and X will be 0.97 for left and 0.64 for right. So we'll have two values of delay. Okay, and 5 will be multiplied by the real X value because X is less than 1. So delay for left hand side lane 54.7 seconds per vehicle, delay for right hand side lane 18.74 seconds per vehicle. Okay, now you can see, although I just increased the volume by 200 vehicles, the delay has increased 3 times per vehicle. These values are per vehicle. Okay, so this shows you that the delay and volume are not linearly proportional to each other. They are not linearly related. You cannot say, okay, I will add 10 vehicles and the delay will increase by half a second. No, maybe you add 10 vehicles and delay increases by 10 seconds or 20 seconds maybe. Okay, so delay and volume are not like in a linear relationship. Okay, they are not increasing with a constant rate. That rate keeps on, and the delay increases rapidly even if there is a small change in volume. The delay increases rapidly if there is a small change in volume. Now, first of all, I will upload the file which we are going to use for the tutorial. Now, what happened in the previous class, that's what I was mentioning at the start as well. There was a group who did not do anything in the class. Like they did not solve even one part of even one example. T means the flow period, flow time period, the time period for which you take in the flow. Okay, so flow, as we have seen in the previous examples, is taken for 15 minutes. So usually T will be 15 minutes or 0.25 hours. T is in hours, and it is the time period in which we have taken the flow. And flow is usually taken for 15 minutes, so T will be 0.25. But if in your case study you have taken T for 5 minutes, if you have taken flow for 5 minutes, then T will be 5.60, right? 0.2, it will be, I don't know how many. Okay, but it will be in hours. So T, the unit of T is in hours, and it is the time period which is taken for flow. Okay, so I was saying that there was a group who did not do anything. They just started the call in the group meeting and did not do anything. So I will not mark your attendance if you are not showing me the calculations for the whole group. Okay, I was trying to be nice with you that okay, fine, you are trying and you will get the attendance, but this is this is not the case, I feel. Okay, you are not even trying. So I will mark your attendance when you start showing me the results. Okay, and the problems which I have given are very easy. They are the same as I have done in the class. Okay, you should not have any problem. So I will now divide you into groups. Okay, group 1 is done. Okay, group 2 is done. Okay, group 3 is done. Group 4 is done, and okay, all groups are done. Go to the groups, start the call, and if you have any questions, everything will be from the groups. Then I'm now disconnecting this call. Okay.